I'm going to prove to you that Israel went back to the physical land of Mizraim, where we was taken out of the original captivity. Israel went back. Hear me now. Israel went back to the physical, literal land of Egypt. All right. It says, now when Titus was come into the upper city, he admired not only some other place of strength in it, but particularly those strong towers which the tyrants in their mad conduct had relinquished. For when he saw their solid altitude and the largeness of their several stones and exactness of their joints also, as also how great was their breadth and how extensive their length, he expressed himself after the manner following. We have certainly had okay, he's got God. Okay, I don't know how to translate that. I'll read just the way it is. We have certainly had God for our assistant in this war, and it was no other than God who ejected the Hebrews out of these fortifications. Well, I guess he was right. Y'all did kick us out, right? So he had a point. For what could the hands of men or any machines do towards overthrowing these towers? At which time he had many such discourses to his friends. He also let such go free as had been bound by the tyrants and were left in the prisons, to conclude when he entirely demolished the rest of the city and overthrew its walls. He left these towers as a moment of his good fortune, which had proved his auxiliaries and enabled him to take what could not otherwise have been taken by him. So the Most High said that he would let our enemies. So the forts that was built, and when I went to Israel, and you see those walls, we see what's remaining. Only Yah could have allowed the enemy to come in there to snatch Israel about the land. That's what he's saying here. All right, verse 2. And now, since his soldiers were already quite tired with killing men, and yet there appeared to be vast multitudes still remaining alive, Caesar gave orders that they should kill none but those that were in arms and oppose them, but should take the rest alive. But so, let me go back. Caesar gave order, he's talking about the Hebrews that were fighting back because they had a military. The Caesar gave order that they should kill none but those that were in arms. So the ones that was the military, Caesar gave order to take out the army, right? And oppose them, but should take the rest alive. So in other words, those who were not in the military, he took them. We're gonna show you. We're gonna show you what he did to them. But together with those whom they had ordered to slay, they slew the aids and the infirm. But for those that were in their flourishing age and who might be useful to them, they drove them together into the temple and shut them up within the walls of the court of the women, over which Caesar set one of his freedmen, as also Fronto, one of his own friends, sell out, which last was to determine everyone's fate according to his merits. So this Fronto slew all those that had been seditious and robbers, who were impeached one by another. But of the young men, he chose of the tallest and the most beautiful, and reserved them for the triumph. And as for the rest of the multitude that were above 17 years old, he put them into bonds and sent them to Egyptian mines. Back to Egypt in ships. Titus also sent a great number into the provinces as a present to them, that they might be destroyed upon their theaters. So the origin of movie theater house came from this. By the sword and by the wild beast, but those that were under 17 years of age were sold for slaves. Now during the days wherein Fronto was distinguished, these men, there perished for want of food 11,000, some of whom did not taste any food. Through the hatred their guards bore to them, and others would not take in any when it was given them. The multitude also was so very great that they were in want even of corn for their sustenance. So back to Egypt in ships.